Hi, welcome to class today. My name's Emily, and this is Tensegrity Flow Yoga Level 2. So we're going to start standing. So go ahead and stand up and come onto your mat. And we'll begin with our feet just a little wider than hips width apart. And just begin to rock onto the balls of the feet and then back onto your heels. And then we'll get a good solid foundation between the two opposites. So not all the way to the heels, not all the way to the front, just perfectly in the middle. We're going to put little bitty bends in the knees so that we can keep our leg muscles engaged. Extend up through the spine. Close your eyes. Let's take several deep breaths. Just inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. Feel your body begin to relax and enliven in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Now let's open the eyes and inhale. Reach the arms out up to the sky. And then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. We'll reach the chest out over the legs, and you can bring your hands either to the floor or maybe to blocks, one block or two blocks. Just allow the chest to relax, the neck to relax, the legs to relax. Maybe shake the head yes and no. Just feel any space around the neck that might feel congested. Begin to release with some micro movements from the work of gravity. And then let's bring our hands out to the sides, then back up to the sky, reaching your chest up towards your hands. Extend into a slight back bend. And then again, exhale, forward fold, bringing the chest out over the legs. Hands to the blocks, maybe to the floor. Each time we repeat this, you'll find that things begin to release a bit. Maybe just a little bit, but they will begin to soften with the repetition and with time. And then we'll take the arms out overhead, up to the sky. Try to reach your chest up into your hands. And then one last time, exhale, forward fold. All the way over the legs. Again, feeling some space around the hamstrings. Breathing deeply. And then we're going to step or float our feet back into a plank pose. And as we come to plank, we'll find strength through the core by pressing into the hands. Strengthen up through your arms by keeping slight bends in your elbows. So we don't want to lock the elbows, which will kind of disengage the muscles of the arms. So slight bends in the elbows helps to keep the muscles firmly wrapped to the bones. And on our exhale, we'll lower slowly through a chaturanga push-up to the belly. And then inhale into a spinal extension of your choice. So I'm going to do cobra, pressing into the hands, keeping some space under the armpits, and externally rotating the palms. So what helps bring the elbows back by your sides is to externally rotate your hands, not squeezing your elbows in, which can just kind of collapse your shoulders. So maybe give that a try. See if that's helpful. Breathing in. On your breath out, release, bringing the chest back over your legs. And let's push straight up back into our plank. So strong push-up position. And then we'll hinge back into downward facing dog. And let's pedal out this dog a few times. So as we pedal our feet, we begin to release any tightness around the legs or the low back, maybe the ankles. And then we'll lift high up to our 10 toes and then melt the heels down, holding dog pose. Working the chest toward the thigh bones and working the thigh bones toward the space behind you, toward the wall behind you. Let's bring the right knee into the chest and move the shoulders forward over your hands into cheetah. And then extend the leg, pressing the chest back toward the legs into 3-point dog. On the exhale again, let's move into cheetah, hugging the knee into the heart. And then extend the leg back into 3-point. And then swing the foot forward all the way between the hands. So the cheetah action is what brings the foot forward. And we're in our high runner's lunge. Strong core muscles here. Moving the groin creases back and wide. Inhale, lifting the arms up to the sky. Chest reaching up. Straighten the front knee just a bit. And on your next exhale, then sink your hips down into the full form. Maybe hovering your front heel just lightly above the ground, just enough to activate the muscles in your feet, to firm the muscles into the legs. And then we're going to lower the back heel down as we drop the arms into warrior two, reaching your chest high, reaching the chest wide. Strong legs, again, a little hover of the front ankle. Inhale, open into exalted warrior. Extending the chest more to the sky, less toward the wall behind you. So more lift. And then exhale, we'll cartwheel the arms down to the floor. Place both hands back to the mat and then step again into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga push-up all the way to the ground, nice and slow. Inhale, we lift into cobra and pause there. As we find our spinal extension, pressing into the top of your feet, into the bottom of your palms. Putting an external rotation in the arms into your hands to draw the elbows into the sides and lengthen. Fill the space with your Ujjayi breathing. And on your exhale, release. Come all the way back to your belly. And one strong plank movement. And with your breath out, push up into plank. Slide your hips back. And then lift your knees straight into downward facing dog. Let's once more pedal our feet. So we'll pedal the right, pedal the left. One more on each side. And then we'll hold downward facing dog. Bringing the left knee into the chest as you bring your shoulders forward over your hands into cheetah. And then pressing the chest back, the shoulders back, lifting the leg, 3-point dog. And again, exhale, the knee slides in, coming into cheetah. And then back into 3-point dog. And then we'll step that foot forward. So move through cheetah to find the step through. Ground the foot. Extend the back leg back. Find strong spine. Inhale, lifting up into runner. As we extend our chest up toward the hands. Deep breath. Straighten the front leg just a bit. And then on your exhale, we'll sink the hips low as we hover the front heel, firming the muscles in the foot and the legs. And then lowering the back heel. So we've got to rotate from the hip as we lower the heel to the floor. And then the arms extend out into warrior two. Reaching out through your arms, up through the spine. Gazing out over the left hand. And then let's open into exalted warrior. So we think more about the lift up toward the sky as we bow back. Breathing. And then we'll cartwheel the arms down and around to the floor, stepping once more back into our plank. As we find our plank pose, strong core, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale into a Sphinx, cobra, maybe upward facing dog pose. And then exhale back into child's pose. Big breathing. Take a breath here. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the right side of the mat, finding a crescent shape. And then walk the hands to center and over to the other side of the mat. Again, finding a crescent shape. And then return the hands into center. And let's slowly pull the chest back up into hands and knees. Let's do some cat and cows now. So exhaling into your cat. Inhaling into your cow. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. And the next one, we're going to exhale, bring the right knee in toward the chest. Inhale, extending the leg, extending the chest. Again, exhale. Inhale, move smoothly with your breath. And then release, other leg, left knee in. Inhale, extend. You just slow down the movement, slow down your breathing. Inhale. Last one here, exhale. And inhale, extending the leg. And then we're going to bring both legs down. Let's go once more into our downward facing dog. So we lift the thighs and press the ribs back toward the thighs, heels toward the floor as the sit bones extend toward the ceiling. And then let's look between the hands. We can step or float the feet to the top of the mat into our forward fold and then prepare for crow pose. So bending the knees, moving the knees high up onto the armpits. So really just above your tricep muscles. Extend some length for your spine. And then as your weight begins to shift forward, you can let your feet float. Find your drishti, your focus directly under your eyes, facing your eyes directly on the floor beneath you. Breathe. And then we'll release, bring the feet down, and we're going to place the hands under the feet into Padahastasana. So notice how deeply bent my knees are. So keep the knees really bent. You're going to place your palm underneath of your foot. And then begin to straighten your knees just to the point that's accessible in your body. So really this is about stretching the wrist, relaxing your neck. Maybe wiggle the toes to massage the wrists. And then release. Release the hands from under your feet. Inhale, let's come all the way up into our standing. And then bringing the hands back to the heart center. So as we come standing at the top of the mat, hug the right knee into your chest. And then we're going to slowly slide that right leg back behind, hands to the hips, as we slide the leg back into bird pose. So bird pose, the knee is bent. Imagine that you have a wall really close behind you, and you're going to push your foot into that imaginary wall. So just as much energy is pushing down into your base leg, you're pushing into your top leg. If you can, move your hand onto your glute and press your glute into your hand to give your glute muscle something to firm against. So really getting stronger there in the glutes on the right side. Breathing. And then release. Let's hug the knee back into the chest. And we're going to step the right foot over top of the left. So crossing the legs. Internally rotate your thigh bones as we fold forward into a sciatic stretch. So you don't have to go very far to get a lot of benefit here. Notice my hands don't touch the ground. Yours may be able to, but that's a little far in my body. So just stay where you're comfortable. And then inhale, we'll come back up And release the legs. You can hug the right knee in and then release to the floor, to the other side. So we'll pick up the left leg. Just hold there for a moment as you gather your strength and stability. And then we're going to slowly swing the leg back. So maybe drag the big toe across the mat as you slide the leg back and up into bird. So the chest is extending. We're going to take the left hand, place the palm flat onto the glutes, and then press the glutes. So the glutes will firm nicely against the pressure of your hand. Maybe your right hand onto your top thigh. So both knees are bent here. So the right thigh can firm against the right hand, the left glutes against the left hand. Stay breathing, getting really strong through these standing balances. And then release, we'll hug the knee in. And then step across. So I'll do this one facing forward. Just stay facing the direction you are. So the legs cross, internally rotate your thigh bones. So feel them rotate in and back, widening out through the sitting bones then as you fold forward into your sciatic stretch. Try to keep your neck in position with the rest of your spine. So you don't want to just dangle your neck or collapse the spine here. Stay long. Keep breathing. Hands to your hips as inhale. We come back up. Let's hug the knee in. And then release. We'll bring the foot down. So let's switch back to the other leg. So again, we're going to pick up the right leg. Just gathering the balance in the front plane. And then we'll go back into warrior 3. So again, transitioning with bent knees. We'll come back as if we're going to do bird. And then we'll straighten into warrior 3. So I like to clasp my hands together. And then firm those clasped hands against the base leg. And then press there to extend your spine. Also gives one more grounding element to hold and maintain your tensegrity. Breathing. And now let's check the firmness of the right glutes. So we're going to firm the glutes against the palm. And now let's take our left hand, release it from the leg, and extend it directly overhead. Slide your hand away from your glute and extend it behind. So alternates extending. Asymmetrical. Breathe. Inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to hug the knee back into the chest. So slightly bend your knees when you transition, bending that base knee when you transition. And then we'll hold on to the big toe and extend the leg into big toe hold. The knee does not have to go straight. The spine does need to remain straight and long. Stack your head directly over the rest of the spine. And then let's float our leg for 3. Breathing, 2. And then 1, knee hugs. And then with control, we'll release. Take a minute and just kind of paw the feet from side to side and then prepare to do the other side. So we'll hug the knee to the chest, getting our balance in the front plane. And then we'll slowly, with bent knees, with the groins hollowed, moving back as if we were going to do bird again. And then straighten the legs into warrior 3. Again, maybe you clasp your hands and press into the crease. So I'm not only pushing my hands toward my leg, but I'm also pushing down. So that back and down movement helps to give you something to lift not only away from, but above. Breathe. All right, now let's check the firmness of the glutes. So we're going to slide the hand, left hand to the left glutes. Firm the glutes into the hand. All right, and then we're going to take the right arm, extend it forward overhead. Reach. Release your hands from your glutes. Extend asymmetrical spinal extension. Breathe. One more inhale. And then with the power of our exhale, we'll hug the knee slowly back to the chest. Find the big toe grip. And then extend the leg. You can do this whole set with a little chair by your side or by the wall. So just having something to barely touch goes a long way in helping you develop your balance. These things are incredibly strengthening. All right, and then we're releasing the foot, holding for 3, 2, and then 1. Knee comes in, and then the knee goes down. Good job. Let's step the feet wide. Let's go to the wide edge of your mat. We're going to bend the right knee, get long on the left side, and bring the left hand down. So the right hand stays on top of the thigh. I'm pressing my hand down. I'm on a ridge top. My hand's pressing and pulling back to help move the spine long. And then over to the other side, extending your right leg, right arm, ridge top. Push and pull back. If the floor is too far away and you have to round your spine, then none of this will work right. So you'll have to use a block, which is perfectly perfect. And so even if you don't have to use a block, maybe you do, because it creates just a whole lot of nice opening. It's really nice. All right, let's go over to the other side again. Breathe. I'm placing just a little bit of pressure on the of my right hand to my left leg, so it gives my leg something to push against. So my hand and my leg are pressing together. Okay, last time, over to the left. These are half side squats. All right, and now we're prepared for wide forward fold and center. So bringing the hands to your block, chest long toward the floor. Strong legs. Try not to hyperextend your knees. If your head's close enough to your block, maybe you put it on the setting, either the small, medium, or high, so that you can actually press your head into the block. And notice how that feels. Like that takes a tremendous amount of weight out of the back body just to have something to ground your head into. Several deep breaths. And then bring the hands to your hips and inhale. Let's come all the way up. We're going to bring the heels in one time and then bending the knee to archer. So bending the right knee, left toes to the sky. Let's circle the arms around through the right and then pull your bow back, gazing over the left. Maybe on the inhale, you release the posture a bit by straightening the knee slightly. And then on your exhale, you can deepen the posture by deep bending the knee. So it happens with the breath. It's a little pulse. Inhale, exhale, like you're riding a wave. Okay, let's do the other side. So we'll come up. We're going to bend back, left, extend. Find your drishti or your focus over your right arm. Inhale, you'll come up a bit. Exhale, you'll deepen. Use the breath to inflate you up, almost like a hot air balloon, rising. And then exhale, the weight and the strength of your legs pulls you back down. One more, float with your inhale. And then sink with your exhale. And then let's come back up. And then we're going all the way over into full side squat. So getting the full range of wide openings today. So full side squat, you can either stay here upright or maybe you settle your hips down, your heel, hip by your heel, elbow to the inside of the knee and extending the arm. Now a block can be really helpful here just to kind of have either behind you so you can support yourself in that way or maybe in the front. I think it's better behind because the tendency is to kind of sit down or fall backward. So maybe use that block there. The hand on the floor is also nice for support. This is a big, big opening in that right or the left extended leg. All right, and the fun part is coming out. So we're gonna press down into the strength of the legs. Again, maybe use the block. It will really make life easier. And let's go over to the other side. As we come down nice and slow, we begin to settle our hips down toward the heel. And the two blocks for your second block, maybe one forward in your front hand. So you've got one on your right hand and one on your left hand. And you can still use your left elbow to prop that left knee open. So you want your knee and your ankle and your toes going the same direction. It's very important so that, they're not going misdirections, especially the knee. Knee pointing out over the toes. Breathe. Okay, and then we'll engage through the core, engage the legs as we come back up into that wide straddle. So let's do one more wide straddle here. Notice how different it feels after having all of those nice wide side openings. Hands to the hips. Inhale, let's come up into standing. Strong legs, strong chest, heel, toe. Heel and toe. And heel and toe. Good. So at the top of your mat, let's get back down to the floor. Inhale, we'll lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward fold. Let's bend the knees deeply, just like we were going to do another crow pose, but instead we'll choose to do a chair. So we'll then swing the arms up. Let the weight shift forward into the balls of the feet so your heels hover. And on your exhale, then bring the chest forward over the legs, hands down, and straightening the knees into forward fold. We'll do that 2 more times. So bend the thighs deeply. Ribs maybe even touching your thighs. Nice long back. Inhale, chest rise. Stay forward onto the balls of the feet. And then exhale, chest forward, ground the hands. The last thing is the knees go straight. And then last time, so deep bend, lift the heart, strong legs, strong glute muscles. And then exhale, forward, hands touch, knees straight, forward fold. Let's step back, plank. And from here, we'll do a side plank. Bring the left hand in under your shoulder and pivot over to the side. Let's take the arm overhead more into like a side crescent. Find your breath. And then curve as we release this side to the other. Right hand under the shoulder. Pivot to your opposite side, lifting the opposite arm to the sky. You can always stay here, that's fine. Or maybe you find that crescent. Long spine, long neck. Or Breathe. And then release, bringing the hand down, returning into plank. Last belly vinyasa. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale, we'll go back into child's pose. And then from child's pose, let's come forward into a seat. So we'll have a seat here, and let's lengthen up through the crown. And what we'll do is extend we're going to extend the left arm to the side, and then bring the arm across, holding on to the forearm. And then again, inhale, open the arm. And then exhale, bring the arm across. And then one more time, inhale, we'll open the arm. And on the exhale, we'll slide the arm across. And then we're going to bring our weight forward so that your left elbow touches your right knee. And then we'll bring the hand back so that the forehead comes to the pinky side of the hand. So this is pigeon for your shoulder. So you want to keep your wrist long here and your neck long. Try to create some space between your scapula as you find this nice opening in the outer shoulder. And then let's release and do that on the other side. So to the right, extend. And exhale, and inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And then we'll bring the elbow forward. So shift your weight forward enough that the right elbow comes to the left knee. And then move the arm back so that your forehead can touch the pinky side. So it's the pinky side of your wrist. All right, and then release. We'll extend. And now find comfortable position for your legs. So just find a comfortable seat. Sukhasana is fine. Extend the arms. And we're going to do eagle with the arms only. So we'll bring the left on top of the right. Cross at the wrists. Maybe you can find the little cross at the hands. So I usually tuck my index finger around my thumb. And then inhale, lift the elbows toward the sky. So the posture we did just before this, the pigeon for the shoulder, is a nice preparatory pose for the eagle for the shoulders. So you got to really breathe here. Breathe into the back of your heart. And then inhale, open, and let's do the other side. So on the exhale, we'll bring the right elbow on top, cross. And if all of that crossing is a little much, then you can just cross at the elbows and press the back of your hands together. If that's too much, you can just hug yourself. That's fine too. But the full posture is with the palms touching, pressing together, pressing out and up. And then you've got to create the space with your breath. Imagine your arm bones floating in a pool of water. And then release. Take our arms wide. And let's bring the hands down, and we'll take the left arm up and over to the side. Nice long extension. And as we inhale and come up, then we're going to rotate around toward the opposite knee. So you can keep your right hand on the right knee, or maybe slide it over to your left knee. Either one is okay. Inhales, extend the spine. Exhales, rotate the spine. Release. Do the other side. So we'll extend first. So we want to create some space in that right side body. And then inhale as we come up. We'll stay long. Bring the right hand back. So the hand comes where the ridge top fingers are grounded. So we're going to use that pressure of the hand to help rotate the spine. So I'm pushing my hand down and kind of giving a little torque with the pushing slightly out to the right. So down and kind of with a little turn, almost like you're turning a jar lid. So your breath in lengthens, exhales deepen. And then release. Let's come back into center and then go ahead all the way onto your back side. And as we come to the back, we'll just rock from side to side. And we're going to bring our feet flat down onto the floor for bridge posture. So as the feet come down, fingers up, and just stop sign arms. Inhale. And then use your exhale to lift with. So the exhale's got the power behind it. So we'll lift with the exhale. Externally rotate your shoulders now. So your shoulders are nice and open, so it should be pretty easy to get that external rotation of the shoulders. Maybe bring your hands and place them under your pelvis. Another option is to clasp the hands, externally rotating the arm bones the whole time. Maybe lift the heels to release any pressure you might feel in your knees. Firm the glute muscles, strong glutes. Slow down your breath. And then release. Let's come all the way back down, bringing the hips to the floor. We're going to do eagle for our legs. So we're going to take the left knee over top of the right. And then we'll move the knees over to the right side. So if your left is on top, then you twist to the right. If that feels like it's too far, then you can bring your hand and place it under your knees, or maybe a block under your knees, so you don't have to go so far for the knees to touch the floor. Extending your spine and rotating the ribs in the opposite direction as the way the knees are going. So the knees are turning to the right and the ribs are turning to the left. And you've got to really use your breath here. So even when you're still, the bigger the breath, the more inner movement is happening and occurring. Balancing even all of these separate parts into one unified whole. All right, let's come back into center and we'll switch our legs. So bringing the opposite leg on top. So it's the right leg, and then we're going to bring the knees over to the left side, and then we'll twist the upper body over to the right side. And again, maybe you need a block, and things will feel different from right to left. So don't be surprised if this side feels differently Then the first side, and you may need support on the side. Breathe. Big diaphragmatic breaths. And then release. Let's come back. We're going to undo our legs. Bring our feet down. We'll move the knees wide into Baddha Konasana, reclined Baddha Konasana. Again, lots of deep breath. Working to release any tightness in your pelvis. Relax your jaw here. If your jaw is tense, your pelvis is going to be tense. And then let's bring our legs back together. And then we'll extend the legs one at a time into resting Shavasana, our final posture. Adjust your body so that you feel comfortable. There shouldn't be one part that pulls your attention to it. All of your parts should feel balanced and even. Relaxing your jaw, unclenching your teeth, your eyes. Now notice how just that act of relaxing the face helps to soften the rest of the body. Working down through your neck, into your arms, shoulders relaxing. Relax through your torso, down into your hips, pelvis relaxing. Down through your legs, feet relaxing. And then feel your whole body as one interconnected unit. Completely relaxed and relaxing. So you can stay here for as long as you like, as long as you have time. But when you are ready to finish, you'll move your fingers and toes. And connect to your breathing. Roll onto your side. Eventually returning into a seat, keeping your eyes closed. Hands to the heart and bow to yourself. Namaste.